Well, Garden Warfare 2 really blew up, eh? Thank you, Jinxie, for bringing attention to this game. Also, I promise I'm not grifting off the recent attention he has brought, as I was already making this video way before Jinxie made his announcement. But I just want to make this video because, well, I love Garden Warfare 2. With it being nearly a decade old, I've still been playing it since its release, and I wanted to make this video to talk about a very frustrating issue that all players have faced. So this video is going to be a more casual rant style conspiracy. After all, I love this game, but it unfortunately suffers from two main issues. Firstly, the game is completely abandoned and forgotten by EA. It's a sad truth, but it's true. EA doesn't give a shit about this game, and while myself and many others would love to see an update for Garden Warfare 2, let's be honest, it ain't happening, okay? Since 2019, we've seen multiple spastics on Reddit, Instagram, and YouTube posting shit about how they saw a dev on Twitter randomly post or mention EA, and that leads them to make this whole statement of, oh, the devs are coming back, guys. The devs are coming back. Garden Warfare 2 is getting an update. Where's the fucking update? I haven't seen it. We had this since 2019. There is no fucking new update. So, at this point, let's be honest with ourselves. The game is dead. They ain't coming back, okay? Give up on this fucking dream. EA isn't going to work on it. No matter how much myself and many others pray for them to come back, especially with the game's 10th anniversary happening next year, I highly doubt EA is going to give us anything. If we're lucky, the best case scenario would be that EA does an anniversary patch where they fix a lot of the bugs and exploits. Like, for example, where if you exit your drone or your get res, your camera goes through the fucking floor. I would love that to get patched because it's really fucking annoying. But I doubt it. The worst case scenario, and I feel like this is going to be the most likely thing to happen, they're just going to add some stupid fuck off hat, a town hall event that lasts for a week, and that's it. Secondly, the game is riddled with cheaters. Like cancer, this game is unfortunately riddled with cheaters, and I already know that these guys have donned on their fedoras and begin correcting my mischaracterization of their work. Explain, I denounce your slanderous statements of my use of third-party software and alterations of the game process being cheats, for I'm a modder using mods to modify my game experience. And all I can say is, too bad, Chucklefuck, you're a cheater. Mods are supposed to be fun or provide quality of life changes. For example, Minecraft has a big modding community. You have mods like Dynamic Lights, which provides the quality of life change of giving torches to provide lights when you hold them in your inventory. You have the Twilight Forest mod, which adds a whole new dimension. And if you're mentally ill enough, as well as having low self-esteem, like myself, you have Greg Tech New Horizon, a mod pack that constantly makes me want to rip out my hair. But yet, it's still fun in its own special way. But the most important thing that all these mods have in the Minecraft community is that if you want to play with someone, you all have to use the same mods. It's because of these reasons I refer to you as cheaters, not modders, as your mods aren't fun or provide quality of life changes to improve the game. And more importantly, you don't give a shit about other players. You just use them regardless if it's good or not. That's why I call you guys cheaters. So in this video, I want to talk about a very specific type of cheater, as I've got a pretty wild conspiracy theory on the type of people that use this specific cheat. And I'm hoping by the end of this video, you guys can come and agree with me that, yeah, it's most likely these type of people who are using this really fucking annoying cheat. Though, before we get to the main focus of the video, as some people are too stupid to understand this, but I don't think all cheaters are the same. As I don't care if you use mods to give yourself infinite money, unlocking every character in the game, or turning the cactus into a pickle. Those mods are perfectly fine. But if you're one of those power-hungry pricks that rely on aimbot or vulnerability, you know who you are. And for the remaining of you who use banning hacks, I think you're a bunch of limp dick knobheads. Also, I will be using the term cheater and modder interchangeably in this video, as to me, they are pretty much the same thing. So if you hear me using either of those terms later on, just remember that I'm pretty much saying the same thing. They both just mean the same. Alright, with that stupid jargon done with, we can finally talk about my conspiracy. So, put on those tinfoil hats, as while my conspiracy theory is only a theory, I'm confident that it will all make sense once you finish watching this video. So, let's get right into it. Now, the group of individuals that I'll be talking about, which I like to call crashers, are people you have most likely seen or at the very least heard of. People joining servers and using some form of mod to crash the server. You know the ones I'm talking about? They join the game, and then with a snap of their fingers, before you can even blink, off you go to the moon, kaboom, server dead. Of course, to resolve this issue, either A, Alt F4 and reload into the game, or you sit there for 2 to 5 minutes, just to be sent to the backyard. Then, you go into join a different server and, surprise! The dipshit from before join this one too. The cheats / mods that I mentioned before, I can somewhat understand the intent behind their creation and use, either that being good or malicious, but I can't see the reason why would someone make this server crashing cheat. The only two reasonable conclusions I have is that it was made for either crybaby tryhards who would crash a server to protect their precious reputation, or, most likely, it was made for the intent of killing the game permanently, which, if this is the case, you're doing a pretty shit job. Like, fuck me, it's been half a decade and yet they still haven't killed the game. At this point, you useless cunts would have better luck tracking down players and killing them in their sleep. To understand the culprits, we firstly need to talk about the duration that these crashes will spend to crash the servers. I have witnessed these guys spending anywhere between 1 to 3 hours hopping from server to server. Now this will make many of you think that the crashes must be bots, but I strongly disagree, as they only crash servers for short periods of time, as well as the fact that they only appear at certain points of time, meaning that most likely these aren't bots, because after all, if this was a bot, wouldn't it be online 24/7, especially with the fact that a bot doesn't need to eat shit or sleep? Because of this, I highly doubt any of these are actual bots, but instead real people. People who are willing enough to spend anywhere between, again, 1 to 3 hours, repeatedly joining servers to crash them. And I think this is a key clue to understanding the identity of this person, so make sure to remember this. The second important thing to understand is the reasoning behind using this mod. As mentioned before, I can understand the reason why certain mods are being used, but this one doesn't make any sense. Why would a reasonable person use a mod that stops everyone, including themselves, from playing the game, especially with them doing it for like a few hours? But I theorize that the people who are using this mod are people that are carefree when it comes to the amount of time they are willing to spend, as well as the fact that they are most likely have low self-esteem and use this cheat as an outlet so they can probably power trip over the fact that they can crash servers. And there's even a slight chance that they have a poor enough sense of humor, leading them to find this as pretty much funny and the most hilarious thing they've ever done. Like, think about it. An average person wouldn't be willing to commit hours using this mod. A person who works a 9 to 5 job isn't going to go home and spend a few hours of their free time crashing servers. A normal, reasonable, and mature individual isn't going to do this. Which is why the only people who would be willing enough to do this would have to have lots of free time available, low self-esteem, and probably for the amount of bullying they receive for being the rat fuck they are, find this absolutely fucking hilarious, even though it's not, it's just fucking awful. The last important key point to knowing these people's identity is the timing or schedule in which they primarily play Garden Warfare 2. As just over this year, I've started to notice a pattern when it comes to these people, as these players more frequently appear during very specific times. It's actually because of this realization that would go on to encourage me to make this video. When it comes to these scumbags' playtime, they seem to usually appear during similar time spans throughout the year, such as they don't usually play on Sunday nights or weekdays, but they do appear more frequently on Friday nights and Saturdays, almost like they're busy with work or school. When there is a long weekend or a public holiday, they also tend to appear more often, but the most common time of year that these hackers tend to play, and you will most likely see them online, is during school holidays. When school holidays is happening, they appear nearly constantly. Like, fuck me, it's like they're having a full-on family reunion. We got the good old cunt squad having their barbecue. We got Bob, we got Billy. Oh look, there's Auntie Chantel being a bitch. It's so bad that at times there is 5 of these bastards playing at the same time, hopping between servers, crash them and whatnot. Heck, sometimes 2 or more of them join the same fucking server. So let's think about this. An average person who's doing a 9 to 5 job wouldn't be able to do this. After all, they're still working during the July school holidays, so it can't be them. So what about uni and college students? After all, their breaks do kind of line up with school holidays, except they usually get an actual week or 2 before and after primary and high school students have theirs. Which, funny enough, during that extra time, I don't see many server crashing hackers online, so it's almost like it's not uni or college students. So if it's not them, it's not 9 to 5 job adults, who else could it be? So with all this information that I've established throughout this video, you probably have an idea of who the suspects are. After all, the suspects will have to be someone who's carefree enough to be willing to waste time, spending approximately 1 to 3 hours a day, continuously crashing servers despite knowing the fact that they won't be able to play the game themselves. They would most likely be someone that has a terrible mental state and a sense of humor, leading them to power trip and finding enjoyment when using these cheats. So they're probably some little shithead that people most likely dislike. And most importantly, they would only have a small window of time during the majority of the year except for school holidays, which they have plenty of free time to use their retarded cheats. So my conspiracy is that the people responsible for using these cheats to crash Garden Warfare 2 servers are those ungrateful, glue-sniffing, ankle-biting, brain-rotten pricks. It's fucking children. While I have no direct evidence to prove this theory of mine, but it all makes sense. The timing, the reasoning, the duration, everything. It all makes sense that the people who are using these lame cheats are children. If I was to give a specific age range, I would say youngest would be 12, oldest maybe 19 or 20, with a majority of them being between the ages of 14 and 17. After all, only a kid will be willing enough to waste hours of their life crashing servers and thinking it's funny. A kid's time schedule matches the time which these cheaters primarily play on, especially during school holidays. Most cheats are gate-kept behind a paywall or malware of some kind, which stops these snot-nosed brats from using them. But unfortunately, for Garden Warfare 2, there are plenty of videos on YouTube showing these kids how to download these modding services, giving them easy and free access to these cheats. Now for those wondering, Wellsplay, how would you resolve this issue? Well, simply, I suggest that we cut off these kids' hands, okay? If they have no hands, they can't use the cheats. And if you're wondering, well, isn't that a bit cruel? How are they gonna do anything in life if they got no hands? Well, I suggest that we make them run on treadmills in EA's Sex Dungeon, okay? They run on the treadmills, they power EA's Garden Warfare 2 servers, okay? EA can easily make money off them, and it's like simple child labor, you know, lowest cost, simple child labor. It's a win-win, okay? No cheaters, powering EA servers. It is the most best solution. Also, I've patented this idea. No one can take it. EA, if you want my fucking idea, you have to pay me $1 million, and I can loan you this idea for cutting off children's hands and making them run on treadmills. Apart from that, thanks for watching this video. Again, I can't really think of anything else to say. My conspiracy is kids use these cheats. That's really fucking it. Apart from that, again, I'll probably have a few ideas, okay? I got a new fire, okay? New fire that's lit inside me. Got a few ideas bouncing around my head. Hopefully, I get them done this year or the start of next year. Apart from that, do all that usual fucking YouTube bullshit. You know, all the things that Mr. Beast says, like, welcome guys, subscribe and all that shit, and share the fucking video, okay? I don't think you guys are idiots. You know what you want to do. If you want to subscribe, you can do that. Don't give a real fuck. Apart from that, I hope you enjoy it and whatnot. I'm going to make more videos. Hopefully, I'm going to try and improve and make them more enjoyable. And, yeah.